Good morning, Flosstube. How are you guys today? I hope you're doing good. Today is Flosstube number 33 on April 23rd, and it's another day. I hope everybody's doing well and staying safe. I just want to say that first off. I don't get the news, and so I get notifications on Facebook and stuff, and I don't go off of them all the time because I don't, I'll click links and see if I can find a reputable source, but I don't always dig down that far. We've had a little bit of flooding around our area, which hasn't really affected me. There's one that is a creek that runs by our house, but it's like, I don't know, half a kilometer away or something, so it's not like 10 feet away from my house or anything like that. It is really high and really fast right now, but I'm not going into town much, so don't really have to worry about it. It affects our area, but not that much. So I was just looking on YouTube, and we are sitting at 47 subscribers, and at 50 subscribers we're going to do a giveaway, and that giveaway is going to be for Cross Stitcher magazine, and this one's an old one. It is October 2017, but it has a few cute patterns. I like that sewing one there. And then the birds, they're so sweet. So, don't forget, share, let people know about my channel, and when we reach over 50, then we can do a draw for who's going to win that. And we're also commenting or voting or whatever we decide to do for my monogamous May. Monogamous, no T on the end. Monogamous May. So the choices are My Lady and the Unicorn. She's front runner right now. And this is the one that my mom was going to stitch for my daughter and didn't get started, but I have started, as you can see. So there's My Lady and the Unicorn, or there is Butterfly, which is this one. And I'm doing a color conversion to blue, so the dark blue will be in the center here and then fading out to lighter blues. Now, someone suggested that I try washing this pen out, so I may do that before I search for a piece of fabric. And I mean, what, we have a week? Sorry, I feel like I'm talking weird. We have about a week. I'll explain that in a minute. So yeah, I will try washing it, and I'll look up the best way to wash it out and see if that works, because it's white fabric, so if it doesn't come out, then I'll just start something new. It's not like one of my good fabric flare fabrics. So the next one and last one is Lady Silhouette, and I'm stitching her on Blooms on Blue. So those are the three we're voting between to figure out which one I will stitch for Monogamous May. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep that pattern with everything. The butterfly's in a magazine, and the other one is big sheets of paper, so I have that in its own little section. Okay, sorry. Just had to check and make sure that one wasn't something I needed to deal with immediately. So those are what you guys are helping me decide, or helping me do, right? Sharing and telling me which one I should do for Monogamous May. for the focus piece. So what have I been focusing on stitching? I have been stitching, and honestly, it's the most stitching I've gotten done in a long time. And so I'm working on these, and if you haven't caught up on the videos, I stitched that guy and half of this guy, and then I realized this guy was 1 stitch too wide, and therefore when I stitched him 1 stitch too high as well. And then this guy ended up being 1 stitch too high, and I was stitching him correctly, so I would have been 1 stitch too high. So I went back and reverse stitched everything to the bottom of this, because that's where the error was, and fixed it all and come back down. So that took about a day, which is fine. I miscounted, so I needed to fix it. And I would normally fudge something like that, honestly, if something else wasn't dependent on it, or it wasn't covering another person's space, like another object space, because those are spaced out, right? If that had been the case, I would have just left it, fudged it, carried on. But because this pattern is symmetrical, I did not feel I could do that. So there's the bunnies all fixed, and then I got that line underneath and the leaves done. And can you see that? I do have life going there. And if you're like me, you're kind of like, it's kind of hard to see. So I might take like a gray, or maybe even the green or something. I don't know. I'm going to take another color and outline it so that it actually comes off the fabric. Kind of back stitch around it. I am stitching over 1 now, and the coverage is good, right? Coverage is good. So the rest of it I'll stitch over 1, because I use so much of that brown. So much of it. And I was really hoping to have quite a bit left, right? to use them for other projects. So I'm going to have to replace that brown. And I can bring all these in. I priced them out the other day. The pattern is, let me just look in my notes here. This area, because I thought I had it on the website and I don't. So the pattern is, oh, I thought I notified her. Must have told someone else. Must have commented somewhere else. I want to say the pattern is 25. I don't know anymore. I'm going to have to look it up. If you're interested, let me know. I have 1 copy of the pattern and 1 pack of the colors in. So, if you guys need anything, if you guys are seeing stuff being released on Instagram or anything like that, please know I can get in 99% of the stuff out there. So if you guys are like, oh, I'd really like that, go ahead and message me, and I will look into whether my suppliers have it or not. Now, if it's out of print, that's another story. I may not be able to find it. So, things are going good on that. I'm going to try and finish needs today. Oh, and that's the other thing. This lettering has that other shade there. Kind of gray. So I will do that, and I might even do more, and then decide if I need to do the back stitch around the letters. But I'm going to work on needs. I'm done part of the end there. I'm going to work on needs today. And I'm not going to let myself stitch as much today as I have the last couple days, because I need to get some books done. I've been avoiding books to do stitching, don't we all? I got exciting stuff in yesterday, so I am going to show you. For those of you that watch Carolyn Off the Grid Needle Arts as well, you know that she did some stuff for her shop recently, and she released that pattern with Tiny Modernist. And she said if people were interested in another shaped bag, to let her know. And I mean, I love the fabric and everything, but I was like, I don't take my projects anywhere really. I do a lot of my stitching at home. So I have a couple, and those are just kind of what I use for whatever project I'm concentrating on at that time. So I was like, I don't really need a project bag. But she said if we were interested in something else, to let her know. So I messaged her right away because she has my desire for my knitting going too. So look at that. Oh, I feel like I'm slacking. I don't wrap it all pretty like that when I send to you guys. I'm sorry. Most I do is bubble wrap and a bit of paper just so it doesn't move, especially with the Omnic frames. I've never had any break, but I had one lady say that the black peg broke, so I replaced that. But then I started bubble wrapping everything. So it comes in bubbles, and it's so cute because Caden sees my roll of bubble wrap, and he's like, bubbles! And I give him a little piece so that he can play with it. Oh, I'm trying to untie it, and it's not working for me. Okay. I'm excited! So as per her suggestion that if we needed something different, let her know, so I did. So, I was not expecting all of this, but I mean, I asked, right? So, I asked for a wedge tote. This is gorgeous! Look at that! It's got the nice big handle here. You guys, you need to go check out her bags on Etsy because she's closed down right now, but I think like once on May 1st she's going to open it up with any stock that she has. So that means anything she's made. She's not taking pre-orders like this was a pre-order or a custom. She's not doing any of that. What she's doing is she's making bags with what she has on hand and then putting them up when they're ready to go. So you guys need to check out her bags. Oh, look at that. And I have my fabulous, designer bag here with my knitting in it. So, I can't show you guys the pattern. I can show you the knitting fabric. It turns into fabric, so to speak. So this is the cowl that Bendy Stitchy was doing for the Advent Land of Sweet cowl. And she did it with the Advent yarns, and I really liked this yarn. It is called For the Greater Good, and it's a Siren Single Sock Supernatural Yarn by Supernatural Yarn. I believe they're on Etsy too. So that's what I have, and it has shimmer in it, you guys. It has the like one thread, which is perfect. It's just that little bit of shimmer. And then I have my it'll work because it has to, Brave. It's just on a key ring that I had kicking around. I pulled it off of one of my keychains because I needed something to mark my rounds. And I have stitch markers, don't get me wrong. They're just buried in my yarn stuff because I'm not knitting right now, right? So, that's fantastic. Okay, what else was in this goodie bag? So I also got the Tiny Modernist pattern. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. Is that not gorgeous? And then she included a skein of yarn, or a skein of floss, but it's not part of this, so it was just a little gift, a little skein of floss. So that's Tiny Modernist design. That is part of what those bag releases were. And then I didn't expect that I would be able to get one of these, but I guess I was able to. One of the Creative Kurator fobs. So that is going on right now. Otherwise I'll be sitting there going, where did it go? And actually, see, you guys get to be part of my thought process here. I'm going to put it on the accessory bag so that it's less likely to get caught on something when I'm taking it somewhere. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Oh, so you guys need to check out Kreative Kurator too. I'm going to have to, I'm hoping that focuses. Cover the face, right? I don't know. I'm going to have to put all that info down below. I will put, I'll put everybody down there. I will put, Evertote, which is the bag, so that you can check and see when she puts new bags up. And then I will put Kreative Kurator and Tiny Modernist Cheryl. I got to meet her in Nashville. Oh, she is so sweet. Oh, she was so awesome. And I mean, I totally just hung out in the room and talked to her and her husband for a bit. Like, I hope you don't mind. They are awesome people. And I hope they're doing well. I'm going to message them again soon, just to make sure that they're okay. So, there we go. Look at that, you guys. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And that's Evertote there. Canadian made. I love that. I don't mind buying elsewhere. It's just, it's a little bit of nostalgia when it's Canadian made and you're a Canadian. I got a little bit more sleep today. It's 11 o'clock. It's not the usual 8. Well, actually, I can't even say usual. This week it's been 8 in the morning that I'm filming. Today it's 11. I slept in a little bit. So I feel like I'm talking weird. Okay. I was eating dinner last night, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I felt around in my mouth with my tongue, and I'm like, my husband's like, what? I'm like, one of my fillings fell out. And so now I've got this jagged, sharp tooth because they don't, like, they have to leave it jagged so that the filling sticks better. And yeah, so I have this jagged, sharp tooth on the inside that's kind of like dragging on my tongue when I'm talking. So I'm trying to make sure I don't, like, cut my tongue on it or something. So I'm gonna have to phone the dentist office today and see if they're open. And I mean, they may not even consider it an urgent case because it's not, I'm not in pain, it's just uncomfortable. It's not painful uncomfortable, it's just, you know, there's something sharp. That's it. So, yeah, I got my bag from Carolina. I got it yesterday and I was very well behaved. I'm like, I want to open it when I'm on Flosstube with everybody so they can see. So I did. And then I was watching Carolyn's video late last night because I stayed up again. And she sent me down a rabbit hole. I know she didn't actually, but she did. She mentioned them. So she was talking about the How Does Your Garden Grow specialty stitch along that she did. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go check it out, see what the full object looks like and all that. And it was neat. Not really my cup of tea. It was neat though. And so I was just perusing the website and I fell down the rabbit hole. So I got Papillon Creations, Birds of a Feather. And look at this, you guys. It's peacocks. So there was 2 versions. There was cross stitch and specialty stitch. And I took that to mean specialty stitch, the whole thing is going to be specialty stitches. And the cross stitch, from what I was reading, or at least what I thought I read on the description, the cross stitch version was going to be cross stitch with a few specialty stitches in the border. That's the way I read it. So I ordered the cross-stitch version and my other pattern. I'll show you in a minute. So then I was looking at it this morning because I was like, oh, I'm going to show everybody on Flosstube. So I was looking through it this morning. I'm like, where's the specialty stitches? I don't see any. What am I missing here? So I messaged them. I didn't expect to hear back until like tonight or tomorrow or something, right? But no, she got back to me within like half an hour, and she's like, oh, it sounds like you ordered the wrong version. And I'm like, oh, darn, okay. And she's like, here's the correct version. I'm like, thank you. I really appreciate it, because I was all getting ready to, you know, buy the correct version because I do want to try those specialty stitches. She sent it to me before I could go and purchase it again. So a great designer, quick with her responses, and yeah, you guys need to go check it out. It's not overloaded with a lot of designs, but there's gorgeous designs, and there's different types too. So I got the specialty one, and I am excited. There's A, B, C, D, E, F. So there's O and G. So there's 7 specialty stitches, and she gives the diagrams for them, so you know you don't have to be experienced in specialty stitches. Another good designer to check out specialty stitches is Jeanette Douglas, and she's Canadian if you guys are, you know, perusing for a Canadian designer. So yeah, she gives diagrams on how to do them. Oh, I'm wrong. G H I J K L M N O P. So there could be like 18 specialty stitches. My bad. But okay, yeah. Corner and central areas, border, feathers, paisley motifs, and peacocks. So she gives descriptions like A, work the road squares using 1 strand of DMC 327. And then she gives the description of the road square, or the diagram, I should say. Nice, clear pictures. So that is going to be fun. I can't start it yet. Can't start it until after January. But it's a pretty nice pattern. And then the other rabbit hole I fell down. So the cross stitch version of that one, everything's cross stitch. Just all the way around. Same colors, just cross stitch instead of specialty stitches. Now the other one I fell down, I've been watching at Stitch MD, and she is loving Quaker. She's going off to another one according to her Instagram feed. She found another one she really liked, a Harry Potter one. But what I've watched of her videos, she's stitching Quakers, and I'm loving them. And so I don't have any Quakers. At least if I have Quakers, they're not started. They're not in my wood pile. So I'm like, wow, that might have to be like a January 1st start is a Quaker. And so I've been like, oh, well, I should just keep an eye out for a Quaker. Sorry, I just seen a squirrel tail in my window. I hope he's not trapped in there. I'm going to have to go look in a moment. So I got Simple Little Quaker from Papillon Creations. And look at this, you guys. Isn't that amazing? Live simply, that others may simply live. Did I say that right? Live simply, that others may simply live. And then initials and date. And you know what? It has that fantastic, I don't even know what those are, stars that Carolyn's been stitching. Right? And then the birds, one sitting and one in flight. It's gorgeous, you guys. So now, and it's not very big. The dimensions on 14 or 28 is 7, we'll say 8 by 12. So that's not, it's a normal, like a little bit bigger than this, a little bit taller, right? That's not bad. That's only a day. I love Carolyn when she said that. Yeah, that's only a half an hour. Yeah. That's what we think in our heads. Oh, that's tiny. Won't take long. Well, is there anything else I needed to go over? I don't think there is. And I was just thinking in my head, oh, this is only like 5 minutes, but I just looked at the timer and we're at 25. So, it's a good stopping point, right? Because we got to talk tomorrow too. And I'll probably talk earlier tomorrow. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, you know to get a hold of me. And if you don't know how to get a hold of me, just comment down below. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, everything. Let me know you're here. I'm happy to talk, right? I do a video every day. I must be happy to talk. Alright guys, I did do a little bit of zooming yesterday afternoon. I may or may not this afternoon because I am supposed to be all adultish and do books. So, I might be all adultish today and do my books instead of Zoom. Alright, I missed you guys. Hope you're staying safe and please stay doing whatever you've been doing to keep yourself safe. Alright guys, have a great day. Bye.